Welcome to the end of 2024. It's over. It is officially the end. This will be the last video that I post for the entire year, and it's been the greatest year ever, right? Just the best year in all of eternity. Well, actually, if you look at it from like a book reading perspective, it was a pretty good year. Maybe one of the best years I've ever had. If you look at it from like a personal health perspective, it was pretty terrible considering I had my accident and like shattered my leg and I may never walk right again. But you know, there's that. But then if you look at it from the perspective of the YouTube channel, it might have been. It was the greatest year I've ever had on YouTube, hands down, like by far. I posted videos on YouTube for 3 years just to get to 4,000 subscribers. And in like the past 7 months, I'm all gone from 4,000 to almost 17,000. I might yet pass 17,000 before 2025 hits. That's insane to think about. So I just want to say thank you one last time before this year is over. I know I did this last month, but I can't help but say thank you to anyone and everyone who has watched a video, liked a video, commented, subscribed, anything that has helped whatever this traction and whatever this growth has been. I'm overwhelmed. I'm overjoyed. Thank you to everyone. Even if all you did was jump in here, leave a nasty comment and leave, thank you. I appreciate all of it, and I appreciate all of you. Now, this is going to be my very first wrap-up video ever. Actually, I kind of have been doing a wrap-up that was baked into my TBR video, and I'm going to separate them out. Now I'll do a wrap-up video and a TBR video because I kind of keep adding things into that video, and it started to feel bloated, so I cut it in half. And I'm doing this because I'm adding yet another feature because I want to do like a mini book haul and just kind of show off and say thank you to the people who might have sent me something in my P.O. box. I opened the P.O. box so I could receive like products or like review copies from publishers, or maybe something from like self-published authors are always trying to send you books or something like that. But then I started having like actual just viewers being like, hey, is there a way that I could send something? And I'm like, are you for real? So I put the P.O. box in my little about description, and since then I've gotten a little stack of books. And I kind of don't do book haul videos. It's just not content that I'm generally interested in making. No shade on anybody who makes it or watches that content. I mean, it's just not something I have an interest in, so I just don't make those videos. But I am going to incorporate a little bit of a book haul into my wrap-up videos. That way, I have a way of at least saying thank you to the people who might have sent me something that month. Anyway, I think I'm done waffling, and we're going to talk about the wrap-up section of the video here. What did I read this month? Every month I have at least 1 or 2 books that I read that I didn't talk about in like a dedicated book review. So I go ahead and I give them a little quick mini review here in the wrap-up. The books that I read that I haven't talked about yet are Time Out of Joint by Philip K. Dick, Foundation by Isaac Asimov, and Memories of Ice by Steven Erikson. Of course, as always, we will not be discussing the Malazan book here because it's the last book I read in the month, if I can get it done, like legit. I have read 400 pages of this. I still have like 500 left to go, and I'm recording this video on Saturday, so that gives me 4 days to read 500 pages. I don't know if I'll make it. This book's probably going to bleed into January. That's okay. But we don't talk about this because that gets a dedicated video every time, never, without fail, at least so far. Now, Foundation, this is the reason why Memories of Ice is actually running behind schedule, so far behind schedule anyway, because this was the Patreon pick for the month of December, which was the Foundation book. I think he meant Foundation. That's all he put in the suggestion, was the first book, and I blew through that in like so quickly because it's such a tiny book. And then I was so invested in what happened in Foundation, I was gonna stop there and just call it a day, but I actually ended up tearing through the entire Foundation trilogy, which was not what I planned to do. Anyway, that being the Patreon pick, I always make videos of the Patreon pick of the month, so that will be getting its own video too. That will come out next week. Well, sorry, later this week. I need to learn how to talk like I'm talking on the day this video is coming out or something. because I'm filming it on a Saturday, but it won't come out till Monday. Anyway, so that leaves one. And the only book that I read this month that did not get a dedicated book review was Time Out of Joint by Philip K. Dick. Now, this was great. I really liked this book. I was a little hesitant, wishy-washy. I've been putting this one off for a little while. I don't know why. I don't know what it was about it that I would get excited when I would read the blurb, but then I'd just be like, maybe not. I don't know. Because I'm slowly working my way through his entire catalog back there. And he's like my second favorite author of all time. And he has some of the greatest books ever. But sometimes it feels like he was just writing to get a paycheck in order to pay the bills, which I think he really was. And they're just kind of forgettable. Think The Simulacra or something like The Zap Gun. And I don't know, didn't know where this one was going to fall on that spectrum. I'm happy to say this was fabulous. This was kind of like a man is living in a town, and the town, everything feels just a little bit weird and a little bit off. And then every day, normal objects will start to become missing from his environment, and it will just be replaced with a slip of paper with the name of the object. Like if your phone was sitting there and then all of a sudden your phone's gone and now it's replaced with a piece of paper that just says cell phone. And it's fascinating. So I feel like at the end of the day, if I had to really kind of sell this to somebody, it feels like, what if Philip K. Dick wrote The Truman Show? And he's not on a TV show. He's not being broadcast. His life isn't being broadcast. But the main character is living in a town, and the town feels really weird and really off. Then the town, the further you get into the book, starts to feel fabricated, almost like it's not even a real town. Then it starts to feel like it's been fabricated specifically for this one guy, so which feels very Truman Show-esque, at least it did to me. And then it goes on from there, and there's some really good mysteries in it, and the mysteries have some really good reveals, I thought, and I genuinely enjoyed the experience of reading this book kind of start to finish. It's not like the most brilliant mystery you're going to see the twists coming before they actually hit. You will be able to figure out most of it before the reveals actually happen, but it doesn't change the fact that I enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed when we did get to the reveals. I predicted almost all of it, but some things I didn't get quite right. But either way, I thought it was really, really good. It won't be cracking into my greatest Philip K. Dick books of all time. It probably won't be cracking the top 5 or anything like that. That's a pretty sacred list of Ubik and Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, Three Stigmata, Palmer Eldritch, stuff like that. So it's not going to break into the top 5 or anything, but it was definitely in the upper half, on the upper end of my Philip K. Dick reads. So great book. If you haven't read it, read it. I highly suggest that one. So now we're going to move on into the book haul portion of the video, and I won't call out specific subscribers' names or anything like that because I have never done this before. I didn't warn people that I was going to be shouting out actual names, and I don't know if they would approve of or appreciate that. But I did have this nice gentleman send me 3 Alice Munro books, and there's, I think, a novel in there. There's some collections of short stories. This actually came from a live stream that I did earlier in the year, and I was asked if I'd read anything by Alice Munro. I think I made the comment that I didn't even know who Alice Munro was, and somebody took it upon themselves to send me 3 of her books, and apparently it's a shame that I have not read any of it. And, clearly she's a Nobel Prize winning author. And the only Nobel Prize winning author I've ever read is Kazuo Ishiguro. And I have not shut up about that man since I read his work. So I am quite eager and excited to get into this at some point. My TBR is so overstuffed. I don't know when I'll get to it, but this is one I think I definitely will. I definitely will at one point or another, if for no other reason than to see what the fuss is about. I might just start with a short story or 2 and just see how she goes. But thank you so very much for the Alice Munro. Next up, I was sent The Eighth Sacrament by Arkham J. Kane. I do not really know what this is even about. From what I can gather, this is kind of like a supernatural thriller revolving around Catholicism and some rituals, and I'm not sure what entirely is going on here. It takes place, I want to say, in New York City, but this is The Eighth Sacrament, and it was sent to me by a subscriber, and I want to say thank you for that one. Next up is Divine in Essence by Yarrow Paisley. Now, this one I don't feel too as bad saying who sent it to me, because this one was actually sent to me by the author, which is Yarrow, and he was genuinely nice enough to include a handwritten letter to me in the book, and it was just, absolutely wonderful. I feel you might enjoy my new collection, Divine in Essence. I hope you'll take a look and spread the word. You have a clear eye and good insights. I would love to know your thoughts, and happy Thanksgiving. Yarrow. Now, that's how long this has been sitting back here. This is why I feel bad that I haven't said anything so far. I should be shouting out that people are sending me these things, so thank you, Yarrow. And he even sent a bookmark with the book, and it's like the same as the cover. It's just a beautiful book, actually. I'll probably get to this one at least just to see what it is, because if you're not intrigued by that cover, I don't know what's going to grab you, because it got me. I don't know, but I haven't read any of this stuff yet. Next up is this comic book, and it is Semantic Horror. Volume 1. I have no clue what this is, but this is another one. This one, I don't even know who sent this one. This one just kind of showed up at the P.O. Box, no name, no nothing, no note, nothing like that. So I don't know if it's a self-published author. I don't know anything. I really don't. It's just Semantic Horror Volume 1, original story by Jay Suri. And I couldn't say thank you to somebody if I wanted to. I don't know who sent it. But it appears to, I don't know. Maybe I should have thought this through before I filmed this. Next up is Failed States by Justin O'Donnell. And this is another situation of somebody sending me something and there's not even a name or a return address on the package. So, people could be sending me, I don't know, anthrax or something, and I wouldn't know what to do. Because like I said, I wouldn't know who to thank for this one, even if, I don't know. I feel like maybe they're self-published and these people are just sending me their works. I don't know. It could be any number of things. I might die just by touching this because I got some infectious disease. Let's hope not. Please don't do that to me. And then, of course, last but not least is this book here. This is a science fiction book by a lady named Fran Tabor, and it is To Own Two Sons. This is another one. I know for a fact that this is a self-published author, and she sent this to me herself, and she was another person who was kind enough to include a handwritten letter in the book, and it is from her. Sorry, I did shout out her name, didn't I? Well, like I said, if you're an author, maybe I feel like it's maybe okay, I hope. Anyway, she wrote, "You bravely stated, if you wish to send me anything," I did put that at the top of my, P.O. box. "And I assume you know that makes you a mailing target for all of us sci-fi writers. Therefore, I am unabashedly sending you my first contact sci-fi novel, To Own Two Sons. Of the 3 high schools I attended, my favorite one was Elliott High in Akron, Ohio. Unfortunately, it was also my first high school, so I did not appreciate its excellence." I'm assuming that she brings that up because I live in Ohio and my P.O. box is based in Ohio here. So, and Akron's not too terribly far from me, as a matter of fact. But this will be your gazillionth sci-fi book, so anything you say will be valuable. P.S. High school was a long time ago. If you have read even this much, thank you for your time. Thank you for your book, and thank you for the beautifully handwritten letter. I just can't express how much I appreciate just everything. Like I said at the beginning of the video, if all you do is watch the videos, I just cannot express how thankful I am to you for being here and for this community that is slowly building, actually kind of quickly building, but I just thank you to everybody. But if you're going to take time out of your day to literally write a handwritten note and then send me your book, thank you even more. I don't know when I'll be able to get to any of these like self-published books. Like I said earlier, my TBR is so wildly out of control. I can't even get it can't contain it. But at the very least, I wanted to show my gratitude to you. I think that pretty well wraps it up here. So as always, everybody, the link for my Patreon's in the description below. The link for my Discord's in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next year.